Okay, so we've looked at the relationship between mass on a spring and the period. We've got our results. We've averaged our trials, divided through by 10 to get one period. The next step is we would like to produce a graph to determine the type of relationship between mass and period. Now the mass was the variable that we were changing. It's the independent variable that will go on the x-axis, and the period is the one that we were measuring. That variable will go on the y-axis. Now the way that, to make it easy for you, the way that Excel works is that whatever you've got in the leftmost cell will automatically go on the x-axis, and anything to the right of that will go on the y-axis. So I've already got my table set up in a way that's going to make my life easy. What you want to do is you want to select just the data. That's really important. Don't select the title. And the other important thing is don't include units in these cells. I've only got numbers all the way through here. So I'm going to select those ones. What you can then do is hold down the control key, and while you're holding onto that control key, that will enable you to select the data in the period column as well. Once you've done that, you can let go of the control key, and what you want to do is go to the Insert tab. You want to choose Scatter, and it's that one right there. Okay, so I've got my scatter graph, and let's put it right in the middle there. Now, it's sometimes easier to actually move that chart to a new page, and that will make it a bit bigger and a bit tidier. So to do that, what you're going to do is right click on the graph, and you're going to go Move Chart. Once I've done that, I want to move it to a new sheet. I'm going to call that, in this case, T versus M, and then click OK. And what's that's done is move my graph to a brand new sheet. Once you've done that, you want to give it a title and you want to label the axes. What I'm going to do is click on that little plus button in the top right hand corner, and then you've got your options. So things like axis title, chart title, etc. Now what I want to do here is choose axes titles. Okay, now that I've done that, I can begin to label the axes. So on the y-axis, I have got my period. That is period T, and it is measured in seconds. That's that done. And just to make it a little bit easier to see, I'll make it a bit bigger. So period T in seconds. On the x-axis, I have my mass symbol M, and that is measured in kilograms. And again, just make that a little bit bigger, make it easier to see. On here we have our title, which is the relationship between period and mass on a spring. Okay, and that there is all there is to it. Got my title, got my axes labeled, and I've got my scatter graph. At this point, you do not need to put a line of best fit through or anything like that, but very clearly from the shape of that graph, I can see that this is a square root relationship. In the next video, we'll look at how we can transform the data in order to get a straight line graph, and then from there we can work out the relationship, the equation for this relationship.